What's up, Giants fans? Back at it with another New York Giants video. And in this video, I want to talk about the signing of wide receiver Lil'Jordan Humphrey to a one-year deal. He is 26 years old. He's a big-bodied receiver at 6'4", 225 pounds. Spent the last 2 years with the Denver Broncos. This past campaign in 24 had a career high in receptions, yards as well, with 31 receptions, 293 yards, and 1 touchdown. He started 7 games, playing in all 17, including the playoff game the Broncos had up in Buffalo. And this is a guy who specializes in yards after catch. Despite his size, he's very good at running with the football after the reception. Denver's offense was modeled around a lot of quick, short passes with Bo Nix as a rookie last year, and it worked very well. That's why you see 192 yards after catch in his stat sheet. Also played 50% of the Broncos' offensive snaps this past season. 2 years ago in 23, hit a career high 3 touchdown receptions and 8 starts, playing in all 17 games then too. What does this mean for the Giants wide receiver room? Well, I think it means a lot for Jalin Hyatt. They re-signed Darius Slayton. Not only that, they bring in Lil'Jordan Humphrey, who played 0% of special team snaps each of the last 2 seasons. So let's make it very clear. He is not a special teamer. He is coming for Jalin Hyatt's job, potentially. He's been in the league for 6 seasons now, entering year 7. UDFA out of Texas back in 2019. Spent his first 3 years with the Saints, if you remember. 1 with the Patriots in 22, and then the last 2 with Denver. Throughout his career, pretty decent, respectable backup receiver numbers. 62 catches for 770 yards and 7 touchdowns. And then also, I think what earned him a spot with the Patriots in 22, because this is a guy who he's been cut, he's been re-signed to the practice squad, he's been elevated. In 10 games with 4 starts and 21 with New Orleans, he was pretty solid there too. 249 yards and 2 touchdowns on just 13 catches. So there with New Orleans, again, I bring this up because his role was a little bit different than it was with Denver. Denver was short, quick out passes, run after the catch, slants over the middle, curls, you name it. With New Orleans, it was the deep ball, and that's where he was able to utilize his 6'4" frame, his size. So, yeah, I think it's definitely interesting, and the Giants are lacking height at wide receiver, right? You look at their receivers. You got Wandale, who's below 5'10". You got Malik Neighbors, who's 6 foot on a good day. You got Darius Slayton, who's 6'1". He's reasonably sized. Jalin Hyatt, who's not super tall either, right around 6 foot. Bryce Ford-Wheaton is a gunner. He's a special teams guy. He's not going to make any catches. And then Amir Smith-Marset is a return specialist. So looking at the Giants roster at receiver, this guy brings a lot of height. So I think that's something to be interested about. Again, it's just a one-year deal. It's not like they broke the bank for this guy. They need to fill out some roster spots here and there. So Lil'Jordan Humphrey has been signed to the Giants on a one-year deal. Now, I alluded to this just a few moments ago. What does this mean for Jalin Hyatt? Well, he's in trouble. And, part of it's coaching, but a lot of it's himself. A lot of it's himself and the scheme that he's in. I don't know if it's the best scheme fit. I don't know why Brian Daboll went ahead and tried to trade up to get him back in 2023 and why Joe Schoen signed off on that. But at the end of the day, this is more of a mental issue with Jalin Hyatt than a physical issue, in my opinion. He's just not mentally there with the Giants. I think he might have some trade value left if you deal him this offseason. But all in all, I don't think he's part of the future plans for this team. I think he was a deep threat that was brought in for Daniel Jones. And now that Daniel Jones is gone, I think the receiver room continues to change here. And I think Jalin Hyatt could be on the short end of the stick in terms of that. And let's be real, he hasn't been used much each of the last 2 seasons. I mean, you could look at Lil'Jordan Humphrey's numbers last year. They were better than Jalin Hyatt's significantly. So, yeah, I do think this is a solid addition for the Giants. A camp body potentially making the roster. And I think he'll compete for wide receiver 4 behind Neighbors, Wandale, and Slayton. I don't think this means that the Giants won't draft a rookie wide receiver. I do think they will, whether it's in round 2, 3, or 4, respectively. I still got my eyes on guys like Jaden Higgins out of Iowa State, Caden Prather out of Maryland. So these are guys that the Giants are going to do their due diligence and homework on regardless, right? Those big-bodied receivers. I think Lil'Jordan Humphrey is just a depth signing in case the Giants can't get a big-bodied receiver in the draft. And like I said, whether they're Giants draft receiver or not, Jalin Hyatt's roster spot is in trouble in 2025. Folks, let me know what you think of this video. If you like what you watch, make sure to smash that like button, subscribe to our YouTube channel at Big Blue Avenue, ring the bell for notifications. Also, follow us on Instagram and Twitter for all the latest up-to-date New York Giants news. And feel free to drop a comment. I want to hear what you think about this edition. And at the time of this video, still no quarterback news yet for the Giants, although I believe Aaron Rodgers did pay a visit to the Pittsburgh Steelers on Friday. So we'll see what happens with that. Folks, without further ado, let's go Big Blue.